Even ordinary people like you and me can play a big role in food sufficiency. A Ramon Magsaysay Awardee in Timor Leste knows this too well and has empowered thousands of youth and communities in the field of agriculture. Eugenio Lemos joins us from Dili. Welcome to the program, sir.
Thank you so much, Manshu.
And congratulations, first of all. It must be amazing to have your work recognized this way. But beyond the prestige, how will the Ramon Magsaysay Award help you in pursuing your cause?
It's actually, I don't know about this award until the 31st of August, when it's been announced. But feel very honored and thankful to the Board of Trustees of the Ramon Magsaysay Award of Board of Trustees who choose me to be one of the Ramon Magsaysay Awardee for 2023.
Well, you were introduced to permaculture almost 25 years ago, and you've said it changed your life and also the lives of those you help. So briefly tell us, what is permaculture?
Yeah, permaculture has been started in Australia over 1970s. But the permaculture itself, it's a kind of philosophy and the new name that it's coming from two words, permanent agriculture and culture. But looking into the system itself, it already exists in every country where based on the traditional knowledge and traditional practice of our community around the world. Only permaculture only looking into a sustainable aspect of the practices that can be continue relevant to today world. Yeah.
Okay. Well, you put up a youth program more than 20 years ago, right? So why is it important to pass on your knowledge of permaculture to young adults? And how were you able to empower them to become food sufficient?
Yes, I think Timor Leste is the case is same as the other country around the world, including Asia. But what we've been trying is to address the food issue by incorporating the permaculture gardening into school curriculum, which is collaborate with Ministry of Education. And now it's become a compulsory subject across the whole country, especially for the primary school. And the second is we're engaging so many thousands of young people in water restoration and food production activities as well. So because Timor Leste is a very tropical country and we have very less rain, so we try to capture the rainwater as much as we can to recharge back to the ground instead of letting it flowing from the mountain straight to the ocean, which is causing a lot of problem also to the environment, like a landslide, erosion, and even causing flooding. So by introducing this technique, apart from reviving the springs, and the community can access to the water to grow their food, grow their animal or grow some fish, but also it's contributing to ecological recovery in the area where we're doing the intervention. So right now, Permaculture has been working over 500 communities across Timor, and we've been reviving over 300 spring so far.
Wow. Well, you mentioned earlier that your school garden program has been integrated in the National Public School curriculum. Why is it important to teach agriculture in schools? And how do you make it appealing to the youth?
Yes, I think the main objective of the permaculture gardening in school is not just about teaching the kids about growing, but the school garden become a living laboratory for every school in order to teach any subject. So shifting from passive learning inside classroom into an active learning outside classroom, so that the kids can involve in education more active, and the student can, learning with the teacher, it's more collective rather than, teacher-centered, just using the textbook. So the school garden is also, it's really a great way to use as a tools to teaching any science apart from growing the food. And the second objective of the school garden is also to inspire the parent of every community where the school are to grow their nutritious home garden, which is organic and also using natural-based solution.
All right. Well, you say that indigenous traditional knowledge in agriculture is important. You don't really espouse too much dependence on modern technology. Why is that? And shouldn't technology be embraced?
Well, the technology is good, but sometimes for me, the appropriate technology that created by the local community, it's more relevant, and also in terms of cultural appropriate, and also ecologically appropriate. But when we introduce a new technology, which is make the community more marginalized, and the technology itself like kind of new, and we need maintenance, and also cost a lot to get that the technology itself, and of course we need to pay someone to operate that technology. While the traditional the appropriate technology, which is created by the local community, it's run by the local community using natural-based solution without depending on external input.
Well, you've been very successful with your programs in Timor Leste, but the Philippines is struggling with food sufficiency at the moment. The country relies on imports, food prices are rising, and Filipinos are going hungry. In your opinion, what must the country do to be able to address this issue?
Well, I think this issue is a very complex issue, not only Philippines, but also Timor Leste also facing the same issue. And also I believe that every country around the world today also facing these kind of issues. But what I have to say that it's actually not the food crisis, but according to, for instance, in Philippines and Timor, I could say it's a rice crisis, because our community is depend too much on rice as the staple food. That's our problem. If we could diversify our diet and eating a variety of food based on the seasonal and based on the different microclimate, I believe that this issue will be less causing our community. And second, because of this climate change issue and the war in Ukraine and so on, it's the food crisis will continue to increase, will never decrease. So therefore, every country in the world needs to be prepared to grow what they eat and eat what they grow. That's the only solution that we could address this issue for the future.
Excellent advice. Well, lastly, you are also a musician who sings about the causes you're passionate about. Could you give us a sample very quickly?
I think, for instance, in Timor, we used to eat a variety of food, especially carbohydrate. We eat mainly root crops. We eat corn, we eat rice. But today, because of globalization, now our diet is dependent too much on rice. So therefore, Timor Leste, because I explained earlier that it's a tropical country.
Yes.
We have less rain, less water, so we cannot afford to produce rice to feed the whole population of the country. So the only solution we could do is to diversify
Yes.
our food production, so that we have to value whatever food that we grow in the country. That's the only solution we could address.
That's okay. Well, thank you very much, Ramon Magsaysay Awardee, Eugenio Lemos joining us from Timor Leste.